Welcome to the Darkstream. Voxday.blogspot.com and Infogalactic News. You'll have to send word about this out on Twitter because I just got a message on the Periscope saying that it had a problem interacting with Twitter. So it's a little unclear actually whether I am, there are competing theories about whether I'm merely temporarily suspended or whether I am actually banned in the mode of Milo. So there isn't any complaint. There isn't any email. It's not Twitter. It's not Twitter jail, and I don't know what it's for. So it is what it is. It's their service. They can do what they want. I can't say that I'm terribly bothered by it, since frankly I could certainly use the half an hour or whatever a day that I spend there more productively. I could certainly get more done. On the other hand, it is a good way of letting people know things, and so I don't know if Alt Hero would have been as successful on its initial free starter if we hadn't been able to get the word out so broadly on Twitter. Hard to say. So anyhow, I don't know what's going on. I sent in an appeal, just the standard click on the appeal thing, but I don't know if they're going to get back to me. No, I would not move to Gab either. Gab is not an option because of its policy, or because of its anti-moderation policies. Anyhow, as you know, my philosophy is always to build your own platform. And hey Jack, no, I'm not going to be using the other Voxday account. That one's actually locked too. I don't even know why. It's probably just blocked on principle because they know it's a backdate one. To be honest, if it's not just a regular suspension that will, be 2 days or a week of Twitter jail, then I don't think that I'll bother returning there. I'm not all that keen on social media, as you know. I don't use Facebook. I don't use anything else. Periscope and Twitter are two different things. I mean, Twitter owns Periscope, but they're operated differently. So, but we'll see. It could be anything from the fact that the only thing that I can think of is that there was I did a couple tweets about Bill Nye the Science Guy. Twitter tends to be very protective of its left-wing celebrities. Nothing too crazy. And then there was also a very foul-mouthed left-wing British Pakistani author. I think he was British Pakistani, either that or British Indian. Anyhow, that could be it. It could be Mary Beard getting butthurt about her books. So that could be it. Anyhow, that would be funny. But honestly, Milo and I are considerably more directly controversial and more confrontational than Richard Spencer ever is. So I think that he behaves pretty carefully. I wouldn't read anything into that. But the thing is that it doesn't matter. You know what we're going to do. I mean, we have Infogalactic. We're going to add, I'm not really giving too much away here, we are going to add a Twitter style capacity to Infogalactic. So, it's not necessarily going to happen today or tomorrow, but we will add that kind of capability when the new engine comes out. And so, it's not a, it's going to be very different than either Twitter or Gab, because it's going to be something that is going to be more heavily moderated in terms of language and that sort of thing. But it's going to, it's going to be just like the other part of Infogalactic. It's going to be something that the users are much better able to moderate, as opposed to having, on the one hand, you've got Twitter's Trust and Safety Council, which takes it too far, and then on the other hand, you've got Gab, who are not doing the bare minimum that is actually required by the law in most places, including the U.S. And so, we would want to strike a happier medium, but it's going to be a while. That's not something that we're going to do anytime particularly soon. We don't have a Kickstarter for Infogalactic, but we do have an ongoing burn unit, which many of you support, and we appreciate that. So, if you want to support the Infogalactic development efforts, just go to Infogalactic and click on the burn unit logo. You can find it. Anyhow, it's not, this sort of thing is expected. Okay? What do SJWs always do? SJWs always double down. You're certainly welcome to try to speak to Twitter on my behalf, but I very much doubt, if this is something if this is part of the purge that people have been expecting, I very much doubt it's going to do any good. All of the, restore Milo and those sort of things, all those efforts. So, so it's highly unlikely that, unless this is just some sort of minor thing. But, I do think that, now that people mention it, it wouldn't surprise me if they were going to try to claim that the memes that were satirizing Mary Beard were, somehow in violation of their policies, which of course would be absolutely ridiculous. But I'm actually locked out of that account for now. But I'm, to be honest, I'm really not interested. I have no shortage of things to do. So, if people want, the reality is, the last time that Twitter suspended me, my blog traffic went up by 10,000 a day. So, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. They haven't sent any email. I don't know whether it's just a short-term suspension or whether it's a Milo-style suspension that is really a ban. So I keep answering that question. I don't know. Twitter hasn't told me anything. We're working on Voxdiversity now. That's why I'm busy. Because Periscope is not Twitter. They're two different systems. Twitter owns Periscope, but they are two different systems. That's like saying, how come you can use Microsoft Word if you don't use Microsoft Excel? They're literally two different systems. So, I'm pretty sure Prince Aloid is the one culprit we can rule out. Well, Yeah, of course I'm taking it calm. I mean, I understand that it is normal for people to often pretend not to care about things. Like, somehow it's cool not to care about things happening and that sort of stuff. I understand that a lot of people are faking that. But honestly, I mean, I don't care that much. It is very, very easy for me not to be on Gab. It's very easy for me not to be on Twitter. I mean, I don't post on Facebook, you know. I've never really liked the, the medium for Twitter, and also, the other possibility, I hadn't really thought of this, but the other possibility is, I just blocked about, I don't know, 30 or 40 kind of alt-Reichtard types. Maybe that's not quite fair to them. So it's also possible that because they had started like a mass shrekking, and about 20 people sent me the same Shrek image in a fedora. So it's possible that they went and, after I blocked them all, it's possible that they all went and did a mass, complaint. So, whatever. It's not it's not a big deal. It's not a concern. No, I don't meditate. If I got kicked off, I would lose my composure. You need to stop investing yourself into things like a social media platform. It's not you. It's not part of you. It's not. Exactly. It's not real life. What's important to me is my blog. With my blog, we have multiple backup plans, so that if for whatever reason it got knocked down, then we'd have somewhere else to go. And so, but yeah, and that's also good advice too. Don't invest in things you have no control over. Well, I don't think it's right to say that Twitter should be open to all. I mean, it is a private company. They have the right to do whatever they want. If they don't want me using their platform, so be it. I kick people off VP all the time. And so, it's part of it's part of the freedom of association. Twitter does not want to associate with Milo. Maybe they don't want to associate with me, so be it. So anyhow, I think that this is going to happen. This is always going to happen. So, unless we have our own reliable platforms, then, they will do this. And so, that's part of why we're building Infogalactic. Infogalactic, we're starting with the Wikipedia model, but it is going to spread out. And this is just one more reason to get in there and support these efforts. I mean, I like what Andrew Torba is trying to do with Gab. I simply don't think that, I don't think that he's experienced enough to understand what he needs to do in order to take down Twitter. But more power to him. Good luck. Just because I might disagree with them about a few of their policies and think that their policies are getting in their way, doesn't mean that I'm at all opposed to what they're doing. And so, we will be adding more capability to Infogalactic because people want it. We added Infogalactic News, we added Infogalactic Tech because people asked for it. And we will add Infogalactic Social because people want it. No, I don't think, Darb referencing the 16 points was not at all an issue. I think that the potential issues were, I think Mary Beard is probably the top candidate. I think that the second candidate is the guys that I was blocking, jumping into it was the fake right guys jumping in to do complaints. And then the third option is that it was one of the people that I was telling them that they had to go back when they were responding to some of my memes. So anyhow, it's not a big deal. You know where to find me. I'm on the blog. Voxday is starting. Alt Hero is in the works. We're making progress every day. Oh, and I almost forgot. I almost forgot. SJW's Always Double Down is now in paperback. So if you look on Amazon, you can probably see that it is now available on Amazon. So anyhow, that's all I have. I'll let you know. We'll find out soon. We'll find out soon whether this is a temporary suspension or a permanent ban. Either way, we will be in touch. Have a good evening. Jeez, this thing will not stop.